Hi everyone! In today's video I wanted to continue to explore my Terra Moon Cosmetics shadows. So first I'm just establishing a base. I'm using a hydrating primer and then I'm going to use a hydrating pore filling primer for my T-zone like usual. I meant to use the Glassy Fit cushion from MOONSHOT instead of this one. This is a summer cushion as it is very matte with very high coverage. So unfortunately I grabbed this one and then dried out my skin. So as you can see in this video, I will not be using setting powder today. Oopsie. Today I just used the pink corrector. I wanted to see what happened if I just used the pink instead of mixing the colors like I did last time, but I don't really think it worked out, so you'll see that I do end up having to use a little bit more concealer than normal to compensate for the fact that it didn't really correct much. And then to add some hydration back to my face, I'm using a Dewy setting spray. I did repurchase the brow blade. It is one of my favorite eyebrow products, but I got it in a different color. There's a cool gray color that they have, so I got that one instead of this one, which is Blackout. I feel like with this it was a little too easy for me to give myself Sharpie brows, whereas with the other one it will be harder for me to overdo it. I'm just a little nervous about the ink stain potentially being too light, so we'll see. You'll probably see me using it pretty soon. I do want to go back to using my Patrick Ta brow wax soon. I just haven't really had the energy to do so, so for the time being I'll just keep using this brow cream as usual. And then I'm going to use a hydrating eyeshadow primer because my eyelids are pretty dry today. This is a really great mini palette from NATASHA DENONA. I feel like she's really stepped up her game recently with the minis. I am just using the two mattes in this palette to establish a good backdrop for the Terra Moons shadow. So as you can see, I am first applying the pink matte on the inner half of my eyelids. And then I'm using the gray matte on the outer half of my eyelids. These are really easy to work with and they just have a really creamy, soft matte feel to them, almost like blurring my eyelids. So I really like this. And then I'm just using the lightest colored shimmer in this eyeshadow palette to highlight my inner corners. Now moving on, I'm using an Iridescent Chameleon eyeshadow in Phoenix. I saw this shade being swatched by other indie makeup brand YouTubers and I just loved it, so I had to buy it during their sale. I'm not really so sure if this was the best, most cohesive look eyeshadow wise. I feel like the mattes were much more cool and then I slapped this warm eyeshadow on top and the blue shift, it didn't really come through on camera. So I'm not really so sure if this is like my best look ever, but it is really pretty. And as you can see, the shadow itself is fantastic quality and looks beautiful. To kind of make it look a little better, I went back with more of that pink matte and gray matte and just kind of blended out the whole look together to make it look better. And then I added some lashes. Because I felt like this look was a little bit scattered and just didn't really have much unity to it, I'm adding a little bit of winged liner. When I have false lashes, I can get away with literally just adding the tip like you see here, so I don't have to add any eyeliner to my lash line at all. I'm also starting to experiment with putting eyeliner on my inner corner, kind of like almost on my waterline there. It pulls my eyes closer together and it doesn't make my eyes look too far apart, which is great for when I have really dramatic eyeshadow looks that wing out a lot. So you can kind of see how the inner half of my lower lash line has that definition to it and pulls my eyes back together. Now I'm just using a simple neutral leaning cool toned pink blush. I try my best not to overdo it, but I love blush, so inevitably I always add too much, which is fine. And then I'm going to use bronzer and highlight from this Bronze Squad Cheek palette. As you can see, I jammed Hula Light into the spot where the brush used to be, and then I took out and don't use the brush at all. So it's a pretty good all-in-one for me, especially back when I used to travel a lot. I could just bring this with me and have everything I needed. Finally, moving on to the lips, I'm going to overline my lips with this lip liner from Buxom. I like how it kind of matches the pink eyeshadow. And then I'm going to be using a red lip gloss from M Cosmetics. I've been experimenting with really emphasizing my Cupid's bow, so you can kind of see. I like how it looks. I think it looks okay. You can definitely tell that I overline my lips, but I don't know, I like how it makes my face look, so. I definitely recommend you try out Terra Moons if you are looking for some new fun single shadows to play around with. Compared to like Cleonut or something, honestly, it's all really unique and different. Each brand kind of has their own take on it, so I hope you enjoyed this video.